Look, man, I've been in different circles. I talk to people from different places. I tell you guys all the time, when people talk shit about blacks, I tell you what people say about blacks behind their back. With Muslims, we gotta have a real discussion here. People get really annoyed when you try to shove your way of life and your religion down their throat. Nobody gives a that you pray 5 times a day. Nobody cares that you're religious. Nobody cares that you cover yourself up. Nobody cares about none of that shit. Where people start to get annoyed is when you try to put your way of life out there outwardly where people have to accept what you do. This is why so many people have a negative connotation of Islam, because you guys want to come in, you want to shove it down their throat, you want to force niggas to do the shahada, you want to force niggas to pray. Bro, nobody wants to hear that shit. People want to be able to practice their religion without you judging them, without you giving them a headache, without them having to hear the adhan. They don't want to hear it, bro. This ain't your country. Sorry. Go to a Muslim country if you want that shit. There's plenty of them. There's like 50. Look, here's a red pill for you guys that you guys really got to understand, okay? And Muslims are going to get mad at me for saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm going to say it anyway. Islam does not teach you to critically think. I'm sorry, okay? They teach you the Quran. You're supposed to memorize surahs. It's a very let's memorize approach, okay? Rehearse, memorize, have the Quran memorized, etc. Cool, whatever, right? It doesn't really push you to critically think. Okay, it's a very structured religion. This is the way it is. It's very rigid. You're going to learn this surah. You're going to learn this surah. You're going to learn how to pray. Do the wudu in this way, etc. It's very systemic, and it's created that way so people know how to follow. It's a very good guideline for life, right? It is. But the problem is that these guys don't get it. Like, yo, I understand that Islam has this way of doing things. I'm Muslim myself. I get it. But guess what? This isn't Saudi Arabia. This isn't Sudan. This isn't Egypt. This isn't Lebanon. This isn't Syria. This isn't Iran. This isn't Libya. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like, this is not a Muslim country. Okay? So the things that you do in UAE, you can't do here. The things you do in Saudi Arabia, you can't do here. There are people here that are not Muslims. You must understand and respect that. Okay? You can't freak out if people criticize the prophet. We have freedom of speech here. This isn't a Muslim country. I'm sorry, bro. And we don't want to change it into a Muslim country. A lot of these guys get offended when I say shit like this because it's like they've astaghfirullah. They've never heard this shit before. So they're like, oh my God, this is, it's the truth, bro. This is not a Muslim country, bro. And this is the uncomfortable truth that a lot of these don't want to hear. Because a lot of you guys can't think outside the box. So rigid. Everything is haram. Nobody wants to hear that shit, man. You want to be a mu'min? Cool. Do it. But don't sit here and try to lecture niggas on what they need to do or come into a country that isn't your country and then impose your will on them. They don't want that shit, bro. And I'm telling you guys what everyone says behind y'all backs. This is how everybody feels about the Muslim world. This is how people feel about Muslims. They're annoyed by it, bro. Right? So let's not overstay our welcome. Let's show respect to the host country. And that's it. I'm not telling you guys not to practice and be religious and everything. No, I'm not saying that. But I am saying it's a problem if you're going to do the adhan 5 times a day, wake people up. It is going to be a problem when you guys take to the streets and pray in the streets, right? Close out the roads and stuff like this. Disrespectful, man. It's up. It's up. And you all know damn well they would never be able to do that in Saudi Arabia. Could you imagine if like 100 Christians try to block off a road in Saudi Arabia to pray? Come on, bro. You tell me they're not going to jail? Huh? You try to do that shit in UAE, you try to do this in one of these other Muslim countries, you think they're not going to give them a big problem with that? Come on, man. We know the Muslim majority countries are never going to tolerate that shit. Okay? So don't get mad when people don't want you to do certain things in their country that you would never accept in your country. Just be fair. This is a very fair measure to take, but a lot of guys are going to get mad at me. Oh, bro, what the... Guys are rigid, man. They're very rigid, and that's a problem. And I'm just saying the shit that no one else wants to say because they don't want to get criticized by, you know, the whole Muslim community on YouTube. But I think I have a pretty measured take on this situation. I don't think that it's appropriate to act fool and push your religion down people's throats, man. Like, nah, bro, that's not fair. That's not cool. We're here as guests. You want that shit? Bro, there's plenty of beautiful places you could go where they say that down 5 times a day, right? And you'll be welcome there. You won't have no problems and love American citizens. UAE is one of them. When you're shutting down Times Square, okay, to pray, which, by the way, is a symbolic Western location, okay? There's a reason why they're doing that. I'm not stupid, all right? They're shutting down Times Square, praying with loudspeakers and shit to do what? To assert dominance, okay? That's what they're really doing. I'm not stupid. Let's just call a spade, all right? I'm probably the only Muslim that will admit this shit. When they're shutting down Times Square, when they're blocking off the streets, when they're doing the adhan 5 times a day, it's to assert dominance. And if you bitch-ass niggas don't want to admit that, then I will, because you guys are liars. It's to assert dominance, it's to let people know that we're coming. And I'm here to tell you guys, the people of these Western countries have every right to resist you saying we're coming and we're going to take over. They have every right to resist. They really do. Because this is not a Muslim country. It's not. And I know you guys don't like hearing that shit, but if you guys want to hear that shit, go to Saudi Arabia, go to UAE, go to Qatar. These countries are all beautiful. They're safe. You don't got to worry about shit. You don't got to worry about 99 genders. You don't got to worry about lutis. Tafa mana bigushinu. Mafi lutis. Mafi haramiya. Mafi mushkila. Go over there. Go over there, bro. Goddamn. But when you guys come in here and you guys want to pray at the Times Square and everything else like this and assert dominance, because that's what it is. That's what it is. It's called spade. That's a problem. Because let me tell you something. Right now, and you guys all know I'm telling the truth. If a bunch of Christians went to Mecca and tried to do that shit, they'll be beheaded. And you guys know it. So shut up with this dumb shit about, oh, bro, like, you know, we should be able to do what we want. We're going to do it for the day. You niggas try to do that shit in Mecca, they would be cooked. They'd kill those Christians in 5 minutes. Beheaded immediately. Beheaded immediately. And if not, they're going to jail. So don't come here with that bullshit, bro. That's what annoys me with these. Like, you guys are not honest. You guys are just not honest. So these guys have every right to resist that you guys are trying to assert Islamic dominance in a Western country that isn't a Muslim country. I tell the truth whether it benefits me or not, and this is coming from a Muslim guy. I don't like to admit this, but it's the truth. It is what it is, bro. And if you niggas are going to complain in the comment section and talk shit and say, oh, well, Myron, you're not a Muslim or Islam. Bro, this is why so many people have a negative connotation of Islam. Because you guys want to come in, you want to shove it down their throat, you want to force niggas to do the shahada, you want to force niggas to pray, you want to force people to tell them that the religion sucks and Jesus isn't a God and all this other bullshit. Bro, nobody wants to hear that shit. Nobody wants to hear that shit. People want to be able to practice their religion without you judging them, without you giving them a headache, without them having to hear the adhan. They don't want to hear it, bro. This ain't your country. Sorry. Go to a Muslim country if you want that shit. There's plenty of them. There's like 50. And a lot of them are clean and safe. That's what it is, bro. Look, man, I've been in different circles. I talk to people from different places. I tell you guys all the time. When people talk shit about blacks, I tell you what people say about blacks behind their back. When people talk shit about Hispanics, I tell you guys what they say. With Muslims, we got to have a real discussion here, okay? People get really annoyed when you try to shove your way of life and your religion down their throat. They get really annoyed by it. Nobody gives a that you pray 5 times a day. Nobody cares that you're religious. Nobody cares that you cover yourself up. Nobody cares about none of that shit. Where people start to get annoyed is when you try to put your way of life out there outwardly where people have to accept what you do. Okay? Once you interrupt other people's way of life, it becomes a problem. And here's the other thing too, because let me address this too. Someone will say, oh, well, Myron, the church bells go off. What's your comment to that? Oh, you know, well, Christians do this and it makes no. Here's the thing. This is a Christian country, so shut up, man. If niggas want to gather around and say, hail Jesus all day and shit like that, it's a Christian country. Shut up, bro. Honestly. Just like if I'm a Christian or I'm a Westerner and I'm in a Muslim country and they're doing that 5 times a day, I got to shut up. When I go to the UAE, I don't say a goddamn word. I shut up. I respect the customs. I respect the religion and I respect the culture. Is that so tough? I shut up and I don't complain. Okay? You want to be in America, you want to be United Kingdom, you want to be in Australia, etc. These Western countries that are founded by Christian people, you got to follow the rules, bro. Like, you got to follow the rules. You just do. And people get mad at me for saying this shit, but if they want to put the church bells, they get the right to do so. Now, I know what someone's going to say in here. Some dumbass nigga, oh, well, Myron, there's the separation of church and state. Let me talk to you guys about the separation of church and state, because I explained this shit too. Right? And I did a whole tweet about this shit. I got like over 1 million views and shit because it was pretty well written. I spent some time on it. But let me show you guys this shit real quick because people always misinterpret this whole separation of church and state shit, right? Let me find it real quick for you guys. So I made this tweet. Let's see what's the impressions on this? Damn, 1.6. Let's go. We cooking. All right. Anyway, and I address it right here. I know the counter arguments. America has freedom of religion or there's a separation of church and state. Let's clarify this. The phrase separation of church and state comes from Thomas Jefferson's 1802 letter to Danbury Baptist Association. It refers to a law protecting religious freedom from government interference and preventing the state from controlling churches. It's not a blank check to practice our faith in ways that disrupt others. I'm talking about Islam here. We don't need to assert dominance with mass public prayers in symbolic Western locations. That's not faith, it's provocation, and it disrespects our host nation. Muslim majority countries would never tolerate similar behavior from non-Muslims. Why should we expect different standards here? Let's show the same respect we're shown abroad. Let's practice our faith humbly, integrate thoughtfully, and live as good neighbors. That's how we honor Islam and earn respect in return. If you want to openly hear the call to prayer 5 times a day, there's plenty of safe, clean, and beautiful Muslim countries you can visit or even move to. And these guys love Western expats, by the way. UAE, Qatar, these places love Western expats. So you guys could go there and be fine. But the separation of church and state was literally the separation of church and state so that the state doesn't get too involved with the politics, or the state doesn't get controlled by the politics. Has nothing to do with Islam or Judaism for that matter. So look, bro, like, I know some of y'all niggas are probably raging at the thing right now saying kafir, or some other bullshit, but the facts are the facts, bro. Okay? The facts are the facts. Praying in symbolic areas of the United States is disrespectful. Doing that Dan 5 times in major cities out loud, interrupting everybody else, is disrespectful. Shoving your religion and your worldview and your ideology down other people's throats is disrespectful. Forcing people to speak your language is disrespectful. Like mayor cucking out speaking Somalian. What is that? What is that? Learn English. Learn English, bro. Learn English. We're not going to speak Spanish. We're not going to speak Somali. We're not going to speak Arabic. Learn English, bro. When I go to Dubai, when I go to UAE, I speak Arabic. I do my best, and I force myself to use Arabic as much as I can. It's called not being a disrespectful and respecting the country that you're at. Because again, if any of us, right? Because the reality is this. We come here, we think we could pray on the streets and do that damn 5 times a day and, you know, impose our will and all this other shit and bully these Westerners, right? We think we could do all that shit. Here's the reality. If Westerners went to Saudi Arabia, if Westerners went to UAE, if Westerners went over to any of these Muslim countries, try to block off the roads and pray and try to build churches and, you know, try to do the church bells all the time and say, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take over this country. We're going to make this a Christian country. Those will be in jail before the sun falls, man. And you all know it. They would be in jail immediately. So let me say this, to end off in this. You cannot sit there, right, and try to dominate an area that's being tolerant of you and then get mad if someone else comes over to your country and then tries to dominate you in the same way. When you know damn well you would never tolerate that shit, okay? Don't come here to America or Western countries trying to dominate with your religion when you would never accept that from where you came from. I can't go to Pakistan or any of these places and pray on the streets. Get out of here. It's not going to happen. And I've been in these Muslim countries. It's not happening. I go to Sudan, talk about, oh yeah, praise Jesus. Bro, I'm going to be in a guillotine a couple hours later. It's not happening. Okay? So don't be disrespectful and force your shit over here. And this is coming from someone that speaks the language, comes to the faith, and I'm telling y'all, it's disrespectful. And honestly, we're going to get people fatigued by the religion. And that's the last thing we need right now. Really. Niggas are already tired of Islam. We don't need to make it worse. We're 1% of the population here. 1 to 2%, bro. Like, come on, man. Show some goddamn respect, man. A lot of you guys are annoying. Like, I'm annoyed. I can only imagine what other people think. Holy. Like, bro, show some goddamn respect. It even says so in the Quran. Like, show some respect to your host nation, bro. All right. That's going to piss some people off. But anyway, yeah, of course, I get this in my chat. Yassine Ibrahim, Myron is grifting all the Christians in the chat, LOL, and you're not Muslim. Shut up, bro. See, niggas like you are the problem, bro. People like you are the problem. This is why so many niggas like, I hate the Haram police, bro. I'm not Sneeko. Shut up and get out my chat, you ass niggas, bro. Like, yo, I will literally tell you guys to off. You Haram police niggas are literally content killers, bro. You guys are vibe killers. You guys are content killers. Like, get the out of here, man. Go do some dawah somewhere else. Like, I'm not scared of you bitch ass niggas. Go read a Quran somewhere else, man. Like, I'll roast y'all niggas. I do not give a get the out my chat, bro. I'm not scared of you. Like, I don't give a get the out my shit, you annoying peasants. You guys are annoying as you Haram police niggas, bro. You guys are the worst. You guys are like ticks. It's like, I just want to smack the shit out y'all niggas, man. You guys are annoying. And here's the thing. Nobody likes you guys. You guys realize this? Like, the only people that tolerate you are other Muslim niggas. You guys sitting in the mosque talking about, oh, I'm a bigger devout follower than you. I'm a bigger devout follower than you. I've noted this much to mosque. I've noted this much. Oh, well, I'm gonna get married tomorrow. Shut up, man. Shut up. You guys are insufferable. Get out my chat, man. I don't like you guys at all. You Haram police are the worst. You guys are the biggest losers, the biggest hypocrites. You niggas are whacking up to porn every day, talking about I'm a devout Muslim. Get out of here, you ass niggas. By day you read Surah Fatiha, by night you whapping off, fapping all over the place. Get out of here, man. You hypocritic ass niggas, man. Get off my shit, man. Bitch ass niggas. Talk about I go to the mosque on Fridays, but then you whacking off on Saturdays. Shut up. Hypocritical, man. You got zero tolerance for any other religion, but you don't even practice your religion all the way. The biggest hypocrites are you Haram police niggas, man. And I'm not scared to call y'all bitch ass niggas out because this ain't an Islam channel. So I can call you guys losers you are, because a lot of you are. Live with your mom and shit, and your dad, who smacks the shit out of you still because you live at your house, because you're a bum, working part-time at 7-Eleven under some Pakistan nigga that doesn't respect you either. Lucky I'm you two, I'd roast y'all niggas even harder.